I love the sound of popping bottles, and we're continuing to celebrate Wine Week here on Live in the Bay. Today we're taking a look at a winemaker with more than over 100 years of serving our community. And now, in honor of Pride, they're continuing to show their delicious wines. Joining us now is the Communications Director at Riboli Family Wines, Daniela Garrido. Daniela, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Olivia, and we have so much to talk about here today, as you can see.
Look at all these delicious wines from Riboli Family Wines.
And what I love is that everybody in the studio is like, it smells so good. And I'm like, it's wine. It's not like I brought, you know, like an entire like culinary experience, but that's the beauty of wine. It's that it has that smell, it has that aroma, it has that taste, it has a little bit of everything to have a good time.
And speaking of having a little bit of everything, I feel like the Stella Rosa collection really is all about having everything. So can you talk to us a little bit about this from Riboli Family Wines and why it's so important?
Of course. So Riboli Family Wines, as you mentioned, has been in the wine industry for over 100 years, and Stella Rosa has just blossomed. They have over a dozen brands, but Stella Rosa has recently become the #1 imported Italian wine in the country. Wow. So we call it America's #1 imported Italian wine. Let me actually give you a quick sip while we chat about everything here. This one's yours.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, Daniela.
And so Stella Rosa, what people love about it is that it's semi-sweet, semi-sparkling, and it's best served chilled or over ice. So for the summer, it's the perfect wine because it's refreshing. You don't have to, like, you know, kind of when you're having like a red, right? And it's summer, you're a little bit like, oh, it's getting hot in here, right? Yeah. We're like a refreshing glass of Stella Rosa wine you can have by the pool, you can have in a backyard barbecue. So as you mentioned, our Stella Rosa wines, Love Series collection is part of Pride. We're calling it our Sip with Pride collection. So it's all about just celebrating the LGBTQ community, and we do have a media partnership with GLAAD. We're actually going to be the official wine sponsor at Nashville Pride coming up next weekend. Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. We have these beautiful bottles. Came out about 3 years ago. People love it. It flies off shelves.
And I just have to say, I did taste this, everybody, and it is super crisp. Like you said, very refreshing. I like the fact that this really is a drink you can do with anything here in the summertime in the Bay Area. Take it to a music festival. We've been talking about music today, barbecues. It works for everything.
Since you're talking about music festivals and barbecues, our Stella Rosa cans, you kind of mentioned, like, I had no idea Stella Rosa had cans. These are kind of fun to treasure hunt for because you can only find them in select retailers. Most gas stations actually have them.
Really? I was going to say, I've seen these in a lot of different spaces that you wouldn't expect to see them.
Right. So we have like tons of retailers, but the cans specifically really sell at the gas station retailers. And on the way here, I was actually talking to my Uber driver, and he's like, oh, I love taking Stella Rosa out like on the road, like the cans. So I thought that was really great and something exciting, especially if you're going to a concert or you're going to go for a hike, anything like that. Stella Rosa cans is the way to go.
We're telling you, this is the buddy that you want in your pack whenever you go anywhere here in the summertime. Now, these are great in canned wine, but what about moving on over here to some of these bottles of wine?
So these are our California-grown wines. These are part of the Riboli estate portfolio. So a little bit more of that traditional California wine. And over here we have San Simeon. So San Simeon is a fan favorite. It is grown in Monterey and also Paso Robles. So we have over here a brand new label for the wine because it's doing so well out in the market. Actually, I was dining at Chez Maman West yesterday, and the truck with San Simeon pulled up, and I was so excited because they were taking out all of the San Simeon. So this one is amazing. I only brought our whites today because it is summertime, and I do feel like most people are kind of looking for that crisp, refreshing white.
Agreed.
So this is our 100% Viognier. Cheers.
Cheers.
And
go, everybody.
We also brought our Chardonnay today. So these, like I mentioned, are kind of have like that Pacific Ocean influence. They're very crisp. They're very fun if you're going to be like by the beach, especially here in the Bay Area. If you're going to be hanging out by the bay, this is perfect. Or if you're going to be out on the boat, it has a very big like influence of like the marine life. So sailboat, hanging out by the beach, things of that sort.
Water.
Exactly. Anywhere by the water, you want San Simeon with you.
And what is really nice about this too is sometimes when it comes to white wines, they can be a little bit more on the sweet side.
Right.
But sometimes people don't like that sweetness too much. Right. This is not too sweet, everybody. It has that perfect balance. And like she said, chilled, this is going to be perfect for when you're by the water.
Yeah, I always like to bring a little bit of both. Like Stella Rosa is our semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. And then our California Riboli estate portfolio is more of like traditional, crisp, light wines. So a little bit for everybody.
Yeah, so then this one, like you said, is good for the water. This one maybe is a little bit different. Can you walk me through these last two wines?
Of course. So we have Madeleine. Madalena. Madalena is named after the matriarch of the Riboli family. So we always say this is perfect for your book club or your girls' night. This is a traditional rosé, and then we have a Chardonnay. Matches perfectly with like a charcuterie board or a salad, something a little bit lighter.
See, that is talking my language.
Exactly.
The charcuterie boards, the perfect wines to pair.
Exactly. And I always love it's kind of like women empowerment. Madalena actually did work with the Riboli family in agriculture. You don't meet many women that work in agriculture over 100 years ago. She actually just turned 100 years old.
Oh, wow,
yes.
really? Oh my gosh, so happy birthday to her, and congratulations.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
She's amazing. And I always, every time I'm sipping this wine, I'm just thinking about like women empowerment and kind of, you know, changing the status quo on things.
Love that. Okay, so those are these two right here. And what about your final two?
Our final one is our Highlands 41. So we have the Chardonnay, and then I also brought here our red blend that has just been flying off the shelves. The red blend actually just won Best Value Wine by Wine Enthusiasts. So it's actually, it is inspired by the outdoors. I know here people love to go on a hike. They love to like get outdoors and do things. This is really inspired by getting out there. It's inspired by the road that leads from Yosemite down to the Pacific Ocean, right through Paso Robles. It's called Highway 41. That's why it's called Highlands 41. So I always say this is like your adventure wine. If you have that adventurous friend, or if you're doing something very adventurous and outdoors this summer, Highlands 41 is the way to go.
Incredible. So you just broke down all these wonderful wines from Riboli Family Wines. I have to ask you, we just have a quick minute here, but what is one of your favorites for the summertime? Which one are we going to catch you out with?
Oh, probably the cans. I think that these are just so popular. Everybody wants a can that they're not going to spill. You don't want to spill any wine when you're having a good time, right?
You don't want to waste any.
So I'm gonna have to go with the cans, especially this grapefruit ruby. It's perfect to be paired with like a tequila mixer or a vodka mixer, things of that sort.
Well, this is so wonderful, and thank you again so much. I feel like we have to do one more cheers, Daniela, right? Cheers to Live in the Bay and Riboli Family Wines, and to 100 years old. That's incredible.
And if you haven't tasted any of our wines and you're curious, San Antonio Winery does have locations in Paso Robles, Ontario, and Los Angeles. You can go there for tasting, you can go there for food, or for a good time.
Wonderful. Well, we had a good time today, so thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you.
On Live in the Bay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Everybody. All right, to learn more about Riboli Family Wines, just head to sanantoniowinery.com, and we'll also have links on our website at liveinthebay.tv.